Hi guys, welcome to another video. My name is Gaurish Russell and today we'll be talking about Gilead Sciences. But before that, just a quick introduction about my channel. I research all the data available on the internet for a particular stock, which includes the fundamental analysis and technical analysis. I will be presenting it to you guys in a very simple language for each stock that I research. You guys can get all of the information available in a single video. And then depending on that information, you can decide whether to buy that particular stock or not. Before starting, one last thing. Researching the companies take a lot of time. So please watch all my videos till the end. I guarantee you guys will learn a lot from this analysis and what to look into a stock before investing into one. Now let's get started. So first we'll be talking about the introduction of the company. Gilead Sciences is a research-based biopharmaceutical company that discovers and commercializes innovative medicines in areas of unmet medical needs. The ticker symbol is GILD. It has operations in more than 35 countries across 6 continents with its headquarters in California. Gilead primarily focuses on viral diseases like coronavirus and hepatitis C, and it has developed a drug named as Remdesivir for coronavirus. Gilead is one of the leaders in this industry and has developed some prime drugs like Sovaldi and Harvoni, which has cured hepatitis C to a large extent. We'll be talking about this coronavirus drug at its present status according to the latest news at the end of this video in the news section. According to 2019 annual report, Gilead's R&D pipelines includes about 104 active clinical studies, and 27 of them are in phase 3. Meaning it is researching on 104 new drugs and 27 of them are in the final phase of research. It has about 20 drugs which are patented in US and European markets, and they are the only ones who can sell and earn profits from those drugs. Gilead has earned about $16.4 billion from HIV franchisee alone in 2019. Revenues and product sales have been increased in 2019 as compared to 2018, and these are the exact numbers from 2019 annual report. Market cap. Market cap means the total cost of acquiring the whole corporation. As you can see from the images under market cap, Gilead has a total market cap of $99.9 billion, and from the comparison within the biotech and drug industries, it comes in the top 5 companies. Before investing into any business, I like to check its advantages over the other companies in the same industry. In this case, Gilead Sciences is the only pharmaceutical company that offers FDA-approved PrEP medications for HIV. PrEP is a course of HIV drugs to be taken by HIV-negative people to prevent HIV infection. As you can see from the PrEP growth chart below, the use of PrEP drugs has been constantly increasing in USA. And CDC estimates that about 1.1 million people in USA alone could benefit from this medication. From the products and percentage of revenue image, you can see that Gilead drugs include some famous drugs like Sovaldi and Harvoni. And these drugs, including the HIV products, generates about half the income for the company. So you can see that from this, we get to know that this is a major drug researcher and has pretty good advantage over the other biotech companies. Next, we'll be talking about the management. The present CEO of the company is Daniel O'Day, and he has been in this industry for about 3 decades. He became Gilead's CEO in 2018. Previously, he was the CEO of Roche Pharmaceuticals, which is also another major leader in the same industry. You can see from the image that he has hold positions like director, head of corporate planning, general manager, and CEO of that company. Before Mr. Daniel, the ex-CEO was John Milligan, and he served the company from 1990 to 2018. As you can see from the Wikipedia chart, that under his guidance, the company had grown tremendously from 2005 to 2018. Also presently, Gilead Sciences has a rank of 139 in 2019 Fortune 500 list. while in 2016 it had a rank of 86 in the same list. Maybe it was because Gilead was at the top of their performance during those duration, and if this coronavirus drug Remdesivir works, it can be back to its glorious days. We will get to know about this very soon. These are some of the historical acquisitions and Gilead's expansion in some key areas. I found this out on Wikipedia. One of such famous acquisitions by Gilead was acquisition of the company named as Pharmasset in 2011. Sovaldi is a drug which is used to treat hepatitis C. This drug was discovered by Pharmasset. Sovaldi was approved for medical use in the United States in 2013. It is on the WHO's list of essential medicines. Forbes magazine ranked Gilead its number 4 drug company, citing a market capitalization of 113 billion US dollars and a stock appreciation of 100%, and describing their 2011 purchase of Pharmasset for $11 billion as one of the best pharma acquisitions ever. From 2014 to 2018, Gilead Sciences has made a whopping $58.5 billion from the hepatitis C franchise. But due to the declining patients and new competition, its sales have been decreasing gradually, as you can see from this chart, which has affected the revenue of Gilead considerably till date. But at the end, we can say that Gilead has a good history of mergers and acquisitions. Before getting into details, there are some terms for the biotech companies which are very important to know. One of which is pipeline. The word pipeline in biotech companies generally refers to the stages of clinical trials of drugs. There are 4 phases in which a large percentage of drugs fail to make it past the first phase of testing. The majority of drugs that enter phase 3 usually wind up getting FDA approval. Therefore, a company with 2 drugs in phase 3 might be a better buy than a company with 6 drugs in phase 1. Phase 3 is therefore a key turning point in a drug's history with regards to its potential final approval. Once into phase 3, it has a better than 50% chance of getting approved by FDA. Talking about Gilead's pipeline, these images are taken from Gilead's website, so it is up to date. In the emerging virus section, Gilead has reached the phase 3 for a remdesivir drug which will be used to treat coronavirus. As per this images, Gilead has about 11 drugs in phase 3 and it will be making profit if in future if FDA approves those drugs. Let's dig into the company's balance sheet and look into some ratios. So these are all the ratios that we'll be going through in this analysis. First, we'll be having a look at the price ratios. Price ratios gives investor an idea of whether a stock's price is reasonable or not. These are the ratios that we'll be going through under the price ratios, which includes EPS, PE ratio, PEG ratio, PS ratio, PB ratio, and dividends. Earnings. Earnings can be considered as profits. Conveniently for investors, all the companies reports earnings every quarter. From this chart, you can see that Gilead has reported 24 positive earnings out of the total 40 earnings in the last 10 years. And its latest earning is 2.118. Earnings per share, also known as EPS. EPS tells us how much money a company makes for each share of its stock. The higher the EPS of the company, the better is its profitability. Gilead's present EPS can be seen from this image, which is 4.21. Gilead's annual EPS has been consistently increasing from last 10 years, as you can see from the other image. Price to earning ratio, also known as PE ratio. PE ratio is used by investors to determine if a company's stock is valued properly related to its earnings, and it also determines the company's standings within the same industry. When comparing the same sector companies, the one with lower PE may be undervalued. Gilead's current PE ratio is 19.69 times the earnings as per the latest information. Benjamin Graham, the legendary investor and Warren Buffett's mentor, thinks that stocks should trade for a PE multiple equal to 8.5 times of earnings. Also from the biotech and drug industry average, it is seen that Gilead is trading at a higher price as compared to its industry average P ratio. Price to earning growth ratio, also known as PEG ratio. A PEG ratio below 1 means a stock is trading below its expected growth rate and is generally considered undervalued. PEG ratio about 2 would signal that the price of that stock has exceeded the future growth rate and it's overvalued. As you can see from the image, the present PE ratio for Gilead is 6.27, which is much higher than 2. So I think it is overvalued right now. Price to sales ratio, also known as PS ratio. PS ratio is calculated by taking a company's market cap and dividing it by the company's total sales over the past 12 months. PS ratio between 1 and 2 is generally considered good, while a PS ratio of less than 1 is considered excellent. The lower the PS ratio, the more attractive the investment is. From the image below, you can see that the industry's average PS ratio is 5.92 and Gilead's present PS ratio is 4.3, which is also lesser than the industry's average, but it is not in the range of 1 and 2 as required. Price to book ratio, also known as PB ratio. This can be calculated by dividing the company's current share price by the book value per share. Low PB ratios can be indicative of undervalued stocks. Value investors often consider stocks with a PB value under 3. As you can see from the chart currently, Gilead has the PB value of 4.37. The average PB ratio of the biotech industries is 3.89. So Gilead is trading at a higher price as per the PB ratio. Dividend. Dividend is one of my favorite terms in the investing world. Dividends means that the company pays its shareholders some money out of its profits or reserves just for holding their shares. Gilead has been paying dividends consistently since 2015, and it has been consistently growing its dividend, as you can see from the image on the right. As of April 2020, the current dividend payout per share for Gilead is $2.72 annually with a dividend yield of 3.4%. My view for Gilead stock as per the price ratio is that the stock is overvalued right now as compared to its peer companies in the same industry, and I would like to invest in the companies which are dividend aristocrats and which have been paying dividends from decades. Now we'll have a look at the profitability ratios. Profitability ratios tell you how good a company is at converting business operations into profits. Under this, we'll be studying ROA, ROE, and profit margin. First, let's take a look at ROA. ROA, return on assets. A company buys assets like factories, equipments, etc. in order to conduct its businesses. ROA tells us how good the company is at using its assets to make money. Higher ROA means it is good at utilizing its assets to generate profits. Generally, ROAs over 5% are generally considered good. You can see from the chart that Gilead has been growing assets, but they are not able to increase the net income according to those assets. But even then, presently Gilead's ROA is 8.09% and it is greater than 5%, which shows that it is a safe bet. Return on equity, ROE. ROE shows that the ability of a firm to generate profit from its shareholders' investments in the company. ROEs of 15 to 20% are generally considered good. With ROE, higher is better. You can see from the bottom chart that Gilead shareholder equity has been increasing from the last 5 years, but the return on equity has been decreasing since 2016. But still, it is 22.6% presently, so I think regarding ROE, Gilead is good. Profit margin. Profit margins are used by investors as indicators of a company's financial health, management skill, and growth potential. The higher the profit margin of the company, the better it is to invest in that company. Generally speaking, a 20% margin is considered as good and a 5% margin is considered as low. My views for Gilead stock as per the profitability ratios is that Gilead has been significantly growing its assets as per the charts that we saw. It's still a safe bet according to the profitability ratios, but maybe it was because Gilead was earning huge profits from Harvoni and Sovaldi drugs in 2016, and they were on their peak of performance at that time. Maybe if Remdesivir, the coronavirus drug, works and stops the spread of COVID-19, it can go back to those glorious days. Now let's have a look at liquidity ratios. These ratios measure the ability of a company to meet its short-term debts. Liquidity is important to a company because when times are tough, a company without enough liquidity to pay its short-term debts could be forced into making some unfavorable decisions in order to raise the money, like selling assets at a lower price, borrowing loans at higher interests, etc. and etc. Current ratio. Current ratio means a company's ability to pay its short-term liabilities with its short-term assets. A good current ratio is between 1.2 to 2, which means that the business has 2 times more current assets than liabilities to cover its debts. Gilead has a current ratio of 3.035, which is quite good as compared to the other biotech companies, meaning it has 3 times more current assets than its liabilities to cover its debts. From the chart on the right, you can see that the current ratio has been increasing, which is a good sign. Quick ratio. This ratio is similar to the current ratio, however, it takes the concept one step further. The quick ratio backs out inventory because selling inventory would take several weeks or months. The quick ratio only takes into account those assets that could be used to pay short-term debts today. A quick ratio of 1 or above is considered good. The higher the ratio, the better it is. Gilead has the quick ratio of 2.862, which is also very good. My views for Gilead stock as per the liquidity ratios is that Gilead has enough assets to cover its short-term debts, and it is quite good according to the liquidity ratios. Debt ratios. The debt ratio is used in accounting to show how much portion of a business's assets are financed through debt. Debt to equity ratio and interest coverage ratio will be covering in this debt ratios. Debt to equity ratio. Generally speaking, as a firm's debt to equity increases, it becomes more risky because if it becomes unable to meet its debt obligations, it will be forced into bankruptcy. A good debt to equity is around 1.1 to 1.5. However, the ideal debt to equity will vary depending on the industry because some industries use more debt financing than others. Currently, Gilead has a debt to equity ratio of 1.092, which is considered good since it is between 1 to 1.5. Interest coverage ratio. If a company can't make enough to make interest payments, it will be forced into bankruptcy. Anything lower than 1 is usually a sign of trouble. Gilead has the interest coverage ratio of 7.6 as per December 2019, which means Gilead won't go into the bankruptcy easily. My views for Gilead stock as per the debt ratios is that Gilead has enough assets to cover its short-term debts and pay interests on any leverages. So I think we are good with the debt ratios. Now let's talk about the drug Remdesivir. According to Gilead's website, the FDA has issued an EUA, meaning Emergency Use Authorization for the unapproved drug Remdesivir. This drug will be used for the treatment of COVID-19 virus. Again, it is an unapproved drug, but it will be just used for emergency purposes by the hospitals. Testing conducted by Gilead demonstrated that Remdesivir is active against COVID-19 virus, and its safety and efficiency are still being evaluated in multiple ongoing phase 3 trials. As you can see, Gilead has done several trials for severe and moderate COVID-19 patients, and their study demonstrates that patients receiving 10-day treatment and 5-day treatment course are achieving the similar improvements. By day 14, 64.5% of patients in 5-day treatment group and 53.8% patients in 10-day treatment group achieved clinical recovery. Also by day 14, 62% of people who received remdesivir within 10 days of symptoms were discharged from the hospital earlier, compared with 49% of patients who were treated with after 10 days. Remdesivir was generally well tolerated in both the 5-day and 10-day treatment groups. And for the moderate patients, the trial is still going on and the results will be out by the end of May. There is evidence from the pre-analysis that it speeds up patient recovery. When more data is available, this may tell us whether or not remdesivir can save lives as well as speed up recovery. On May 7th, even Japan approved remdesivir for use of severe COVID-19 patients. On May 9th, remdesivir drug was to be shipped to 6 states in USA, and on May 12th, Gilead has signed voluntary agreements with 5 pharmaceutical manufacturers based in India and Pakistan to further expand the supply of remdesivir in 127 countries across the globe. It is unclear how much the drug will cost, but according to one non-profit organization that evaluates drug costs, they say that it takes about $9.32 to manufacture a 10-day drug course of remdesivir treatment for one patient. The ICER says that Gilead could charge as little as $390 for the drug, but Wall Street analysts are suggesting a price between $5,000 to $10,000, leading to billions in profits. According to Wall Street analysts, the company's total revenue from the drug could easily top $10 to $11 billion if sold in the range of $5,000 to $10,000. But Gilead has made a wise decision of donating their existing supplies of 1.5 million doses for global use. Gilead forecasts that they can produce more than 140,000 treatment courses by the end of May 2020, more than 500,000 courses by October 2020, more than 1 million treatment courses by December 2020, and several million treatment courses by 2021 if required. Now let's see what the insiders are doing right now. Most of the insiders in Gilead Sciences, including EVP, the director, and SVP, are selling their positions from the starting of this year. According to all these fundamentals, I think this is a great company and has good research going on presently. It also has all the ratios as required within limits, but according to the price ratios, I think that the value at which it is trading is much more higher than what I would like to buy this company for. Thank you for watching this video till the end. If you like my analysis on this talk, please like and subscribe to my channel, and please comment and let me know if you like the video. I will be posting a video every week, so stay tuned. Hope you learned lots of new things from this video. Be safe out there. Hope Gilead Drugs works on this virus and this virus ends soon. Thank you.